Business aviation has always strived to go faster and farther. And that has always driven the industry to be as fuel efficient as possible. Long before carbon was a known problem, the industry was trying to make airplanes, more efficient, go farther, do more with less. And that has driven the engine technology.
For an industry to be sustainable, we always need to be looking at what the next technology is to help carry people safely and efficiently from A to B. And JetLaw has helped many different operators and manufacturers achieve that. We're just a few blocks from Capitol Hill and the FAA and the Department of Transportation headquarters. So we bring our clients a unique level of access to being able to talk with regulators about their new technologies.
So business aviation serves 5,000 airports. The airlines serve 500 airports. So people in smaller communities are much more likely to live near an airport that can be served by business aviation than they are a major hub for an airline.
In this climate, I think everyone wants to get into business aviation. There's so many perks to it, and there's a lot of sustainable options. But it's a matter of picking what's best for our clients. So whether that's joining a fractional ownership program, or if you live in a small town, how do you get from point A to point B safely? Well, a business aircraft is a great way to do that.
When formulating an operating structure, aviation's a little bit different. You can have a safe structure that's illegal, and sometimes you can have a legal structure that's unsafe. And one of our primary jobs is to make sure you're getting the best of both worlds, both legal and safe. It's quite common that someone will come to us with a really good starting point or vision of how they want to operate, but they may not have asked the right questions yet. And what we do on a daily basis is we talk to the flight departments from top to bottom, principal, pilots, mechanics, and we really pinpoint the best structure, the safest structure, where the pain points are, and we can really put you in a better position.
We work with companies not just from a legal standpoint. We've been operating aircraft for 30 years. We've operated aircraft under the higher standard of Part 135. We've been involved in writing about and creating the FAA regulations for 30 plus years. We help new technology companies understand why the FAA has to move at a deliberate pace.
The market is trending towards sustainability, and we have to be at the forefront of that. Our clients are always wanting to know what their carbon footprint is and how they can reduce their carbon emissions. And so when we're negotiating purchase agreements, when we're talking about structure, helping a client pick an aircraft hangar, we need to make sure that we're keeping those factors in mind.
Specifically for aviation operators, the U.S. government and Treasury Department has credits for sustainable aviation fuel. And those are credits that are about $1.25 per gallon of fuel used. And if the blenders are able to exceed over 50% of the efficiency levels, and there's additional credits as well. So the government incentivizes blenders to create more sustainable fuel. Fuel credits are important because it incentivizes both producers as well as users of fuel to seek more sustainable fuel to limit their carbon footprint.
So I grew up reading about aviation history. I was fascinated with people like Jimmy Doolittle, who was one of the most famous air racers, and was always interested in it. I went to air races as a spectator and finally decided I needed to cross that line and compete myself. Air racing has always driven the technology of aviation.
I compete in the Women's Air Race Classic, which is a historic air race dating back to the 1920s. Today, the race is important because it's a way to expose young girls and boys to aviation and air racing, and inspiring the next generation of aviation professionals is something that keeps our industry sustainable and advancing.
Air racing in the United States has really advanced general aviation concepts. The use of carbon fiber was pioneered in air racing. Electronic ignition for combustion engines was pioneered in air racing. That need for speed has driven great improvements in general aviation.